The lesson from history is not complicated, but it is brutal. No empire has ever returned land or wealth to an oppressed people because of a moral argument, a legal petition, or a polite debate. Not once. Every concession in history came only after the balance of power shifted, and that shift was forced, not granted. This is the reality African Americans must face when we talk about reparations in the form of money and land. We cannot approach this as if proof of righteousness will move the hand of power. Empires do not concede because you convince them you deserve something. They concede when the cost of denying you becomes greater than the cost of giving in. That cost can be military, economic, political, or social, but it must cut deep enough to cripple the system's ability to function. Without that kind of leverage, moral appeals are nothing but background noise. Leverage is not built through slogans alone. In India, Algeria, Zimbabwe, Namibia, victory came because the fight was organized, there was leadership, infrastructure, international alliances, economic bases, independent media, and disciplined strategies that could sustain pressure for decades. Here in the United States, we do not yet have that level of unity or structure, and without it, the reparations conversation will remain exactly that, a conversation, not a negotiation. History also makes this clear. Land is only returned when control is disrupted. Armed struggle, economic sanctions, boycotts, international pressure. In America, white control over land and politics has never been disrupted at a scale that forces negotiation. And even if land were granted tomorrow without an independent governing structure of our own, the same system would simply keep control through other means. We must also face another truth. The economic system will never fund its own displacement. Empires will offer token sums, symbolic programs, and empty gestures long before they risk a wealth transfer that shifts the balance of power. That only happens when the empire is collapsing, or being forced out entirely. Until we weaken the U.S. system's grip on our labor, our spending, and our political loyalty, large-scale reparations will remain structurally impossible. This is why our struggle must be internationalized. India had global sympathy in the post-World War II anti-colonial wave. Namibia had the United Nations, the OAU, the anti-apartheid movement. But here, the reparations fight is still treated as a domestic civil rights issue, locked inside U.S. courts where the debtor writes the rules. Unless we connect it to human rights law, colonial restitution precedents, and Pan-African solidarity, we remain trapped inside their system. And even when empires pay or return land, they rarely give up full control. They keep the economy, the resources, and the infrastructure in their own hands. If we were given reparations tomorrow without the institutions to manage and defend them, the wealth would flow right back to the system through debt, taxes, markets, and manipulation. Getting reparations is one battle, holding and multiplying them is another. And above all, when the real battlefield is time. Algeria fought 8 years of open war. Namibia resisted for decades. Zimbabwe struggled for over 15 years. The United States is betting that we will tire of the fight, accept symbolic victories, and move on. But the movements that won concessions were multi-generational. They did not dissolve after one election cycle or one celebrity endorsement. So here is the truth stripped bare. Reparations that shift power will not come from politely petitioning the same system that thrives on our oppression. They will come only when we build enough independent leverage, economic, political, and social, that the system has more to lose by denying us than by conceding. That is the lesson history leaves us, and that is the challenge we face right now.
We don't argue over here. We build with heart, with clarity, and with commitment to our people. If you'd rather entertain ignorance and division, that's your choice. But if you're ready to move forward with solutions, with unity, with purpose, we are the Heru core, and we're already moving. We're not looking for followers. We're building a network of revolutionary thinkers, warriors, and winners. Join the movement at herucore.com. Link with us across all platforms.